So I'm back with part 3. Give me a minute. All right, let's go to Matthew's 4 and 16. All right. The people which sat in darkness saw great light, and to them which sat in the region and shadow of death, light is sprung up. You see that? Now, immediately when I read this, I think about Ezekiel chapter 37, the valley of dry bones. You understand? And that valley is the valley of the shadow of death. That's talking about America, Babylon the Great. All right. And, again, the Lord, said, Son of man, prophesied, over these bones. All right. And what bones is those? It's talking about the Israelites. Okay. All right. Those dead bodies that lie in the street that you read about in Revelations, the 11th chapter. Okay? And those bones lie in the street, 3.5 days, meaning, 350 years. And that's, again, that's just, parabolic, for, 350 years. And we know that, slavery lasted longer than that. Okay? So, the point being that, our dead bodies, meaning we were spiritually and mentally dead. You understand? Through slavery. You understand? Our everything was taken from us. All right? Our lands, our wealth, resources, our heritage. All right? Just like you read in Micah. All right? The 2nd chapter there, verse 1 and 2. He coveted fields, and he take them by violence, and he take a man, his house, his land, even a man and his heritage. Do you understand that? Okay? You get it, people? All right? So the valley of the shadow of death is America, Babylon the Great. And so when you read Ezekiel chapter 37, prophesied over these bones, and then he puts the news on them bones, and he put some skin on them bones, and then he breathed onto them bones. And what did he breathe? Okay? There's truth, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures onto them bones, onto the Israelites. And now, when you go back, Revelations, the 11th chapter there, to tell you that how fear now came over, the heathen, all right? Over the other people, all right, who did this to us. Okay, fear came over them because now what? What do they see? They see all these videos, all this truth going out, all right? In other words, the genie's out of the bottle, the horses are out of the barn, and they see us out there street teaching, starting with our elders all the way on down. And again, this truth goes all the way back to Abba Bivens, okay? Who was street teaching, I believe, in the late 1950s, early 1960s. He was already doing that. All right. And Bill this crew, King Marshall, High Priest Ariar and High Priest Yaquab. All right. And then, of course, the story goes on from there, with the men that came in under them, like Elder Apostle Tahar, all right, and Gabar and Aramla, all right. You understand? All right, so, again, the people which sat in darkness, and we were all in darkness, I told you that, right? Whether you were, your family was Baptist, Protestant, Pentecostal, whatever, Roman Catholicism, Roman Catholic, whatever, right? We all were prey to that. But somehow the Lord guided you out of that. Like, I've heard of the part of, we all have stories, and they're all somewhat going to be similar. Okay? I remember that the Lord kept us out of the churches. Like, family sent you to go to church. We took the money and we instead went to the movies. That spirit is by the Lord. Okay? Not having us to go through what he deemed witchcraft. You understand? So he directed my brother's steps. All right? On Sundays when, they gave us an envelope, with some money in it, to go to church. Instead of that, we went to what? We went to the movies. And obviously that's the spirit, because again, men's goings, all right, of the Lord. And he directed men's steps. You understand that, people? And we all have very similar stories like this that you could hear. You understand? All right? So we would have a lot more in common than you would think. Okay? And as I heard the Apostle taught last night talk about, he was a terror in school. Oh, it was the same thing here. They're no different here. All right? There's no different here. And what do these schools eventually tell you? They tell you you're going to be nothing anyway. And in reality, when you went to take a test, you passed the test. So what was the use of them even teaching you anything? Because in reality, they weren't teaching you nothing. Okay? School is a watered-down version of education. You understand that? I mean, you get a man who maybe only went to the 3rd grade, but yet this man could turn around. He'll take a car apart and put it back together for you, blindfolded. And he didn't learn that in school. And he's a Jake. How about that? Do you understand, people? All right? Anyway. And to them which sat in the region, all right, and the shadow of death, which is talking about America, Babylon the Great, light is sprung up, right? And who's that light? The Israelites. You understand? You're that light. Okay? All right. See, let's further prove something here before we move on. Let's go to, what is that again? 1 Peter 2 and 9. All right. I already said it, but I'll take you to it and read it. All right. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and a holy nation. Holy meaning that you are sanctified. Certain individuals within Israel are sanctified. And again, that was done before the foundation of the world. In other words, you were blessed. You were made holy and separate from the rest of mankind, from the rest of 2/3 of Israelites. You understand? All right? And from the rest, of the heathen. Okay? A peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of the darkness. See that? Called you out. All right? Called you out of darkness. So you see, we were all in darkness. To call, a loud, utter, in a loud voice, see? To invite. You see that? You have to be invited in, people. Okay? You have to be invited in. You cannot walk in unawares into the council of Yahweh. Again, St. John's 15:16. All right? Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. You see that? You don't choose the Lord. He chooses you. And if you were called in, it's because you were chosen before the foundation of the world. You understand? Many are called, few are chosen. All right? To call, i.e. by name, to give a name to, receive the name of, receive as a name. All right? But you have to be called in. You understand that, people? And again, this stuff gets further All right, like when you get into what is that? 2 Peter 1 and 10. Matter of fact, we'll go over there in a minute. All right. Let's finish this first, okay? But again, ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and a holy nation, all right? A peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of the darkness into his marvelous light. You see that? Okay? You understand that? So, showing you that we were all there, okay? Which in time past were not a people, right? Because the Lord had turned his back on us because we broke the covenant. And that's why he even sent our enemies onto us as part of our punishment, okay? But are now the people of the God power, which had not obtained mercy, before, but now have obtained mercy. Yeah, we're in a grace, a period of grace. You understand that? Because we're not under the first covenant. We broke that. And we're not under the second covenant yet. We will be when we get our new bodies, okay? Starting with the elect, all right? Those immortal extraterrestrial bodies. Then we will be under the second covenant because we will have, the laws, statutes, and commandments placed into our inner parts, okay? As you read in Hebrews, the 8th chapter, verses 8 to 10. All right, and that's just an example. That's also elsewhere in the scripture. All right? All right. It's, I said I want to take you to. All right, let's go to 2 Peter to show you about calling, about being invited in. All right? 2 Peter 1:10. All right? Okay, let me show you this here. Wherefore, rather, brethren, give diligence, again, being a workman, right? Never taking your hand off the plow, be continual, all right, to make that calling and election sure. All right, now those two words are going to clarify for you that everything was set up. Why you see the men that are in this truth, okay, and that do the work, make these videos, go out there, street teach. This will give you further understanding why that is, all right? So we're not going to deal with diligence because, again, I already told you what that gets into. Right here, calling. We'll start here, and then we'll go to election. All right, what does it say here? A call, calling. See, a call, invite. You see that? A divine invitation to embrace the salvation of the God power. People see it? Got it? You understand that, people? See, to call, allow, we already read that. All right? Okay. All right. And the other word is election. See this? Watch this. The act of picking out, choosing. I already told you, St. John 15:16. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. Now listen up. The act of God, right? The God power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, free will by which before the foundation of the world, see that? Before the world began, he decreed, you see that? He ordained, he put into law, he ordered, he commanded. That's what decree means. His blessings to certain persons, right? No certain persons. You'll see who it is. The decree made by choice from which he determined to bless certain persons through Yahushua the Mashiach by grace alone. See that? Because ultimately it is by grace that ye are saved through your faith, right? Ephesians 2:8-9, right? A thing or a person chosen, right? A person's of God's elect. You see that? Of God's elect. Now we click on the root word etymology, further understanding. To pick out, choose out for oneself, choosing one out of many, many are called, few chosen. Of the God power choosing whom he judged fit to receive his favors and separate, which means he sanctified you, made you holy and separate from the rest of mankind, to be particularly his own, to be attended to continually by his gracious oversight. I.e. who? The Israelites. We'll be right back with part 4. Shalom.